take one, 'cause you left me, and two for my family, and three for my heartache, and four.
Hello and welcome to We Will Rank You, a podcast where four guys sit around, talk about records, and are not boring in any way, shape, or form. With us, as always, from around the world, Central Time Zone, West Time Zone, who do we have here?
West,
who's
Mountain? I'm a Mountain, and you guys are...
You're a Mountain guy?
Yeah, Mountain.
Oh, yeah, not Central. What's your name?
Sam. My name is Sam.
Hey, Sam. Good to see you. And then who's that guy north of us that I see in the lower right-hand corner of our Zoom?
That's Dan. It's dry January. I think this is the first time I've ever recorded one of these without a whiskey.
Wow. Oh, wow. Good for you. It's not that dry.
It's tea
dry
for me.
January at the 26th, so okay, good.
Nice. And then we also have my current landlord. We're having a 2-week slumber party. He's currently sitting underneath me. So if I stomp like this,
yes, I can hear that.
Me down in the garage.
I was banished. My name's Jim. I was banished to the garage in my own house so that Adam could have the warm room to record in.
So generous.
And I am currently residing just like a 2-week slumber party, basically, in his son's bedroom. So he's empty nesting until I showed up and ruined it for him, just to record this podcast. We've been consulting about it for a while, and we're finally getting to it. Tonight we are talking about the self-titled debut of the Violent Femmes. And I just love talking about self-titled debuts.
Dude, you said, I said, why'd you pick this album? Is it your favorite? And you said, it's good for the pod.
all the ideas that I want to do are all too complicated.
Oh, God.
So I said, look, I'm just going to pick a record.
Yes.
I don't even care which one we do.
Yes.
I just love talking to you guys.
I love that.
I'm a huge fan. You kept it simple.
Yep, I did.
Love it.
Thank you.
Let me tell you a little bit about this record. Violent Femmes started as a duo with drummer and Robert Wool impersonator Victor DeLorenzo and bassist Brian Ritchie in 1980. A year later, young Gordon Gano. We really should have looked that up. We're going to say his name a million times. Gordon Gano.
I'm going to say
Gano?
Gordon from here.
Gordon.
We'll just say Gordon.
We're on a first-name basis.
Right.
Gordon.
Joined a year later. A year after that, they recorded their first record, and it came out a year after that in 1983. Gordon was all of 19 years old when they recorded it, which meant a lot of these songs were written. He was just 18 and probably written even earlier than that. It's famously one of the slowest growers in history, album sales-wise. It didn't make the album charts. It got virtually no mainstream or alternative radio airplay, but tons of college radio airplay. But it slowly became a classic, going platinum 8 years after it was released, which is pretty much
love that
unheard of.
stat.
Oh.
I mean, yeah,
so
I really
weird.
do wonder. I do wonder how unheard of. Like there can't be that many albums that qualify as that, especially because it's not like 8 years later it surged to the top and was a hit. It never. I forget what it said, Adam, but it never cracked. Did it ever crack the top 200 album chart? Like it pretty much never made those charts, and it was really just.
Well, it made the top 200, but barely, and it was only because they had a new record out, and the old record got some sales as a result because they'd made their first record for a while and their name was out there. But it's so hard now because the landscape is completely different in how they tabulate it and all this stuff. But and no one is 100% sure, but it's said that it's the only platinum record to never be in the top 100 when it was originally released. Or something,
maybe
something
that's just
like
fascinating.
That. Yeah, that's crazy. The cover, interesting fact, I always thought was a painting. It is actually a photograph of a 3-year-old kid who was spotted by a photographer in LA, and he paid the parents $100 and duped her into looking into a window in some random house with the promise that there were animals inside. And all she can remember is that she was really upset at the time. She's much older now, and not how she remembers what happened when, there were no animals. It was all a ruse. But it worked, So lots to say about this. Let's hear a little bit about how we all heard about the Violent Femmes, and we'll do this in the order that I want you guys to rank it as well. And I feel that we should start with the man who introduced me to this band, and that is Jim.
I was introduced by a couple of friends in 8th grade. 8th grade. I think, was my first introduction. Adam, did you just stomp on the floor?
I did because I'm above you and we're looking at this in sort of a Brady Bunch Zoom. You told me that when you do bad mic technique, which is every podcast we do, that instead of pointing to the microphone to remind you that I should stomp from above, and I just did.
Well, anyway, I can't hear myself anymore either.
It's because he's an enigma. That's right.
I will tell you this. It was amazing when I got introduced to this. I heard it. I heard my friends singing it before I heard the actual cassette. And when I finally heard the cassette, I was like, oh my God, this is what that sounds like. Because this is basically an album of high school friends getting together, or junior high school friends getting together and singing songs. And the wordplay on this album is so great. And the way that Gordon spits it all out, it's just so fun to sing. And each song is amazing. So that's why I fell in love with it. So, and I must have introduced you to it, Adam. But I'd never heard of Violent Femmes before San Diego, California. Moving there and getting introduced to it.
Mm-hmm. You didn't hear from him in Oklahoma? That's so weird.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's the Midwest. How could you not? Well, I guess it was 10th grade that you and I became friends, and this, I think, was probably the first music that you ever passed along to me. I wish I could remember what it looked like, because I can visualize so many of the tapes that I had when I was a kid, but I'm sure that you put the first record on one side of a 90-minute cassette and the second record, Hollow Ground, on the other side. Just for kicks, I went into, right behind me are a bunch of Jim's old cassettes from when he was a kid that his son now listens to regularly, and sure enough, here we go, a 90-minute cassette that says Violent Femmes on it. It's got the first album on one side and the second album on another side. So it was probably a lot like the one I'm holding right now that you can't see in podcast land.
That's all I ever had was the first two albums. I never went beyond that. I did not like hearing American music on the radio. I was like, nope, not for me.
I might have actually heard them for the first time on 91X, because when the third record came out, they did a cover of T-Rex's Children of the Revolution, and I kind of remember them playing it.
So good.
So
very good.
That might be it. And then in 10th grade, you turned me on to them. Jim, when I said that we were going to do this album, he said, "You're not allowed to tell too many stories," which is my biggest fault for sure. And I come by it. So I'm going to try not to do too many. So here's my quickie version of my love for them. I've seen them 6 times, and here they are. 1988 with Jim and the aforementioned twins that introduced him to it. In 1991 at the Will Turn in Los Angeles. In 1993 with Dan and Jim at the K-Rock acoustic Christmas show. At Cane's in San Diego with my sister. At a Del Mar Fair racetrack show that I left because everyone was so ridiculously drunk that I could not deal. And then in this crazy night around 2004, my band Rookie Card got to play with them at a New Year's show at Jack Murphy Stadium. And that was one of my dreams come true. What can I say? Getting to play on a show, not on the same stage, but still, it was quite the honor. Yeah, I do have a lot of stories, and that's how I got the gig. I wrote a list of stories about them and sent it to the people that were putting on the night. They loved it, had us, and I used that same list and sent it to the people that do the 33 1/3 books, which profile a record, and they liked what I wrote and wrote back, and I answered, and they wrote back again, and then I chickened out and never pursued it because it was all too real. And I hope to one day have a band where we all dress up as Eminem, called the Violent Femmes, and we do the whole first record. It's been on the list for forever. That's it.
Damn.
Sam, what is your relationship with this band?
I kind of like Jim. It's definitely rooted in like late junior high, early high school. And I might have heard it like at one of the dance clubs. Like one of the songs off it at one of the dance clubs that we would frequent as young kids trying to like get out in the world and meet other young kids. But for me, like the memories are really rooted in sophomore year. And, so once we got to high school and started dating upper class women, like as opposed to upperclassmen, not classy women. I mean, which isn't to say that the women I dated weren't classy. I'm just, because if you're out there listening, I just want you to know I loved you so much. Anyway,
oh boy,
I'm totally kidding.
No one's listening. We know that for
awesome.
sure.
That's awesome. So once we started dating, like one of my friends was dating a senior. I dated a senior for a little bit, and dated a junior for a little bit. But like everybody was into this, and I think like the older kids got to it first because us younger kids we didn't know, and that we're just learning about music, and so it just like so rooted in like driving around in cars drunk, like not the drivers being drunk, but the kids in the car were drunk, the drivers weren't, and just
a lot
like
of clarifying.
Listening to this, a lot of clarifying. Well, because it needs clarifying.
I see.
And what's the scissors? What's that?
We'll cut it out in post.
Wrap it up.
Oh, you mean I could have cut out a bunch
seconds.
of Adam's stories when I edited?
We'll cut it out in post.
But
A whole set of hand signals now.
But yeah, and like house. I mean, like this record was house parties, like going to house parties and just being super loaded, and they'd put it on, and it was that's how I came to it. It was high school. It was like that. Like the year I'm talking about is like 85, so a couple years after the record was out, and I mean, who knew of this band? And it's still like, that's the thing, the staying power of this record amongst like high school. It's almost like a rite of passage for, I feel like, for high schoolers to like hear this and be like, what is this? Like even now.
Is it? I don't even know that there's a whole new generation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people younger than us that love this album.
So classic.
I was wondering that same thing, because I mean, we were like that perfect moment in time where like this album was directly made for our age when it came out. I mean, roughly like that span. And so we were like that perfect intersection. And I was wondering the same thing. It does sort of feel like one of those albums that every generation when they hit that age would love. But I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I'm kind of curious, if successive generations are like, oh my God, A, do they hear it? Do they come across it? And B, if they did, like, do they love it as much, or are we that perfect intersection, right time, right place?
Yes to all.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's so different. I mean, like the sound is so different from everything. I mean, from what we were listening to at the time and from what people are listening to now. It's just, it stands out so much.
That's true.
So
what do you remember, Dan, about first hearing it? Because I have an early memory of you in this band.
Interesting. I need to hear that. Maybe, let's do a therapy session. Because honestly, I remember nothing. What I remember is everybody I know knew this album. And I feel like 91X played the shit out of this album. So I just feel like it was oxygen. It was just everywhere. It was part of that late middle school, early high school kind of world. And as far as I know, it was just issued to us. It's like, here's your math textbook, here's your history textbook, and here's Violent Femmes' self-titled debut. Like, for all I know, like, that's just sort of how I ingested it. I really have no idea who turned me onto it. I know I wasn't first. This is definitely not a band that I was like the person telling everybody else. But, Sam's exactly right. The car fills up, and this is what you sing it in the car. You sing it at the parties.
It's so accessible, this album. I mean, every instrument.
And it's so sing-along, to your point, Jim. Like, every song is meant to be shouted in unison.
Yep.
It's one of like 5 albums that just were nonstop being played kind of through those years.
And every instrument is at the front of the mix, and you can every lick of every bass and drum fill, whatever it is, they're distinct, they're clear, and so everybody can sing along to them too, or do them on the dashboard of the car. Or whatever.
I will say, I hadn't listened to this album completely in forever. I don't own it on CD, and just hadn't like streamed it in a long time. Remembered most of the words, and kind of like the highlights of each song, but the instrumentation is what I had forgotten about a bit, and that was for me the most exciting discovery again. I'm like, I forgot just how frigging good it is. Like, the playing is so good, but as we've talked about with other bands, in that sort of not afraid to be just a bit messy. Like, this is not produced within an inch of its life, right? Like, this is not glossy. This is like, this
Barely
is, it's kind of the other version of bar band, right? Maybe they're not in the same bar that Rod Stewart is, but like, it's just another one where the vibe is like, let's just keep it real, you know?
And it's a collection of songs that are, they're all the same three instruments, and
for the most part,
you know, and then all of a sudden, really late, a xylophone makes an appearance and a piano makes an appearance. You know, but it's basically three guys doing the same thing over and over again in new and wonderful ways on each track that hold the attention span of us when we were young. But I mean, still today, it's absolutely special. Absolutely.
So, and to Sam's point that it doesn't sound like almost anything else, that's even more remarkable given it is pretty much the same three instruments. Like, how do you sound that different without any real tricks up your sleeve? Well, not like obvious tricks. It's just about the style that this whole thing comes together as.
Well, one thing that I was kind of thinking about, kind of rolling over my head, because Tom Verlaine's Kingdom Come came on one of my, Spotify playlists the other day, and I was like, wow, like Gordon sounds so much like Tom Verlaine in this song, and that's why history is so important. And so I started thinking about, like, would the Femmes have existed without Tom Verlaine? And
I have no idea who that is. I just got to admit.
Okay, well, let's pause for a moment while Adam will edit in a little bit of Tom Verlaine's Kingdom Come, just so you can hear his voice.
Thank you.
In the pouring rain, and I heard the voice that cries its own in vain.
But without Tom, would Gordon's voice have found a place in music? Would the Violent Femmes have hit it if they were fully electric? If they didn't have Brian Ritchie on bass, would they have hit? Like, why did it hit with indie kids in the early 80s? Like, there's so many questions. Like, there's so many, like, little things to fall into place for this album to just come into being.
And you know what else hits with little kids is when you're learning how to play the guitar, and all of a sudden there's these immediate, like, ready-made, here you go, kid, you can play this song right now. You can play, have you never played a guitar riff before? Let me introduce you to Blister in the Sun. And so I remember being at Ski Beach at a party, Adam and Dan in San Diego, and Brand, like the first time I had ever taken an acoustic guitar to a keg party, and obviously you have John Belushi hitting it against the wall pretty soon after that, but I remember it worked really well because I started playing the Femmes, and that's all I knew how to play, and everybody loved it except for like 3 or 4 girls who were like, that's the most annoying singing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, trust me, we sound exactly like the album.
Right.
And they're like, why can't you get just one? What? So Adam, what's your story about me and the Femmes?
You were in a band that covered Blister in the Sun in high school.
Right. That
little thing.
To Jim's point, for the person that can only play one riff, there it is.
But I mean, it really gave that song what it finally needed, which was piano.
Dan.
As a synth pop
more
guy,
instruments. We need more instruments.
You finally brought that Vince Clarke, Alan Wilder aesthetic to the Femmes.
Some good synth arpeggios for.
It had to be synthed up.
All right, let's get to it. And don't let me even pause for 1 second to say that Tom Verlaine was the singer from the band Television, Jim.
Oh, yes, there you go.
Let's,
nice.
but
thank you.
I love Marquee Moon. I'm a total latecomer to it. I'd heard it a million times. It did not occur to me that they sounded alike, but yeah, I had that definitely like light bulb moment. Like, oh my God, they sound so much like each other. It's crazy. And I guess he's had that comparison thrown at him for years. And he had said at some point, I was actually trying to be Steve Wynn from the Dream Syndicate, but whatever. And there's other comparisons.
I'm so lost.
I definitely.
I'll learn later.
I'm bringing up one of them for sure a little later.
Okay. All right. There's a few. Anyway, let's get to it. So the order has been established. It'll be Jim who passed it along to me, and then I go over to Colorado, and then down to Dan. And we're gonna go from our least favorite to our favorite because that's what I like to do. So Jim, who has been saying all day, and by all day I mean 5 minutes ago, there is an obvious last place, which we pretty much say before each of these.
But we agree.
But this time for real.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this is definitely my least favorite. I love this song. I love every song in this album. But it's my least favorite because if this is a song where your high school friends all sing together and all the lyrics and they're so much fun to sing, this is the one that has the least amount of fun lyrics to sing along with. And it's To the Kill. To the Kill is my number 10.
Ain't had no fun all the time, jacking around. Ain't had no fun, messing my mind, I kick it around.
I'm getting no reaction, so let's see what the other people say.
Which for this crowd is better than the normal what?
Right. We're all doing poker face right now.
I mean,
we're building,
maybe
from here. But I mean, I love this song, so don't get me wrong.
That is great rationale, though. I applaud your rationale.
Okay, thank you.
And I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my number 10 is also To the Kill, and like you said, I love this song. And I think there's been a couple of like really big favorite albums where I thought, okay, whatever's last place is going to be my favorite last place of any of the ones that we've done. And I figured for this one, it's going to have to be. And I think it might be. They talk about going to Chicago. They're a Wisconsin band, and I'm from Chicago, so I always kind of liked that a little bit. And I wonder if maybe they were looking to Chicago, kind of like us San Diegans were looking to LA, like, oh, it's a big city. He's a little bit, sarcastic about it. But there's sort of a sparse chaos to this song that they get into on a lot of songs throughout their career. They do these great little upbeat pop things, but when they get weird, it gets super out there, especially for a three-piece band. To be able to make this much weird noise is kind of amazing, and they get even further out with different albums. But this is pretty great for a little acoustic coffee house trio, for sure. So that's my number 10. What you got, Sam?
I agree that there's a clear bottom song.
Here comes the button.
Agree that it's To the Kill.
Oh, so close.
It was my bottom song for a while, but my number 10 is Confessions.
Wow.
It just, one song had to be at the bottom, and here it is. It's got like every song pretty much on this album. It's got some good guitar freakouts, but that's the best part of the song for me. It's otherwise just kind of white boy angst. The blues filtered through three white kids from Wisconsin and New York. Gordon's from New York, but it just like the whiny, like the worry, I'm like, okay, like I get, like for 5 minutes, like I get it. Jim's
I'm just saying,
agog.
I'm just saying, Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's my number 10, Confessions.
Sam, you're wrong.
I was going to agree. Okay.
Number 10 is To the Kill.
Hey!
We almost were unanimous on this one, gents. We were so close.
We've never had that.
I know. I thought we were on our way to history, which is why my poker face was probably over the top. And guys, I'm going to go one step further than you. I can do without this song. I don't mind it. It totally fits on the album.
Yeah, it does.
I get it, but I don't need it. Like, not only are other songs sing-along, but very few songs out last their welcome. This is one I'm almost a little checking my watch, like it doesn't really go anywhere. Of course, it ends big. The best part in my mind is his squeaky "Go ahead," and then to the kill. Like that ending is amazing, which gets to my sound alike. Am I the only one that so many times during this album thought, "Oh my God, that is totally Adam Sandler"?
No.
Which obviously,
do not put that in my
Sandler copied Gordon. No, it doesn't make me happy either. I'm not a fan.
Accept it in my head. I won't think about it.
It is so I think Sandler worked Gordon into his act. I think he's doing Gordon Gano.
Oh, my God.
That's my theory. Go listen to it again. Go ahead. It's totally
I don't hear it.
Launch into the turkey song.
Yeah, number 13, Baby by Pixies. That one is maybe even more Sandler, but keep in mind,
that's even worse.
He's not confessing to it, but literally 5 minutes before we pressed record, Jim was just telling me that an In Spiral Carpet song reminds him of Red Hooded Sweatshirt by Adam Sandler. So he's not that cool. He's not that far above thinking that things sound like Jewish.
Sandler's pulling from
No.
Sandler's pulling from all the greats. By the way, I think I've seen them twice, maybe 3 times, but the other one I remember, other than the Acoustic Christmas, which I actually forgot about, Adam.
Saw your face, yep.
Was in Chicago. I saw them in Chicago,
really?
which was
nice.
awesome.
Nice.
And they played this song.
It was
and
a Windy
was
City.
That's awesome.
phenomenal.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
exactly.
That's great.
All right. Well, my number 9 is probably going to piss somebody off. I don't know who.
Do it.
My number 9 is Good Feeling. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, is this the only piano on the album and the only fiddle on the album?
Yeah.
I think so.
I never listen to this song anymore, so when I hear it, I go, "Oh my God, the la 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 la," and the. I mean, it's unbelievable ending. I love it, but when you stack it up on all the other songs, this has to just fall like a rock down to number 9. So that's my number 9. Adam, I'm sorry that I've upset you.
I'm speechless. So I skip
that's
my
weird.
turn.
Anyway, so my number 9 is
my number 9. I keep thinking like a lot of these lower ones. I'm like, oh, they're not going to like this, which you guys tend to say a lot. I never think that. I'm like, whatever. My number 9 is it kind of fell a bit, but it's Gone Daddy Gone.
That's amazing. I thought you'd have that hugely high. Yeah, okay.
Me too. I actually had money that was Adam's number 1.
I know it.
Which is weird because
you just lost me a lot of money.
Vegas.
weird
Vegas, like people are just ripping their clothes apart.
Exactly.
Running out the building.
Damn it.
because it's even maybe stranger, if only because the story maybe that I've told more about this band than any other involves this song, which I'll tell you in a second. But I dig that he works in a bit of I Just Want to Make Love to You by Willie Dixon, made famous by the Stones, but did not know that probably when I first heard it.
What part is that? I don't know.
Tell by the way that you switch and walk. I can that whole bit.
Yeah, switch and walk part.
Tell by the way you switch and walk. I can see by the way you baby talk.
They didn't do a lot of covers, but funny enough, one of the covers that they did do was Back to High School Bands was a song that Jim's band did, and that is Eep Op Orp Ah from the Jetsons.
Eep, eep, op, op, ork, ork, eep, eep, op, ork, ork.
Yeah, Jetsons.
Right, but it was covered by Gnarls Barkley at some point, and
Not a good cover. Not a good cover. I went back and re-listened to it. It's
interesting.
To me, they don't add. I don't think they add anything. I was impressed at the time they did it because I didn't expect Gnarls Barkley to pull out Violent Femmes. But
exactly.
re-listening to it now, I'm like, they take away the urgency and they don't add anything as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's an effort noted for sure. But Violent Femmes actually returned the favor and covered Crazy, which I thought was kind of cool too.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions haven't.
So I read a little bit up on some stuff, which I'd never really researched this album too much for something that I know and love that much. But Brian was saying that
Brian Ritchie, the bass player.
Brian Ritchie, the bass player. Sorry. We're
Thank you,
tight,
Sam.
as you'll learn from this story.
Thank you, Sam.
That he supposedly stole this one part, which is, I mean, it's done in a lot of songs where there's like a riff and break, and then the guitar takes a little solo, and then more of a riff, and then the drum takes a little bit, and then another riff, and then the other guy takes a little solo. Like, it's kind of a jazz thing, but they do it in like 3 or 4 different songs on this. But he specifically said that in this song is what they ripped it off. It's a song by Roxy Music called Remake Remodel. That's when I played in this band, the Schizophonics. That was our closer every single time, and we all took a little solo. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it was such a weird reference to be making in 1982 or whatever. But apparently that's where they got it from. In a story that's too long to get into, I ended up hanging out with one of my favorite bands, Violent Femmes, after this show in LA. And we were at their hotel room and talking, and some of them were nice and some of them weren't nice. Brian did not seem to be that nice of a guy, but in talking to Gordon, he was super, super nice. And I was telling him how, like what you guys were saying, we used to leave parties just to go somewhere and sing along with this album. You talk about singing at the parties. No, we would leave a party just to go back to like the Ramones house or something and just put on these two records and sing along. He thought that was so great. And so I was telling him, yeah, we'd sing along, and like for Gone Daddy Gone, I'd whistle the whole xylophone solo. He's like, you did? I said, yeah, do it. And so I do it, and he's like, that's so great. And he runs over to find Brian, because Brian's the one that played it.
No.
And I'm like, oh shit, he's been giving me stink eye the whole time. Like, who is this kid in our hotel room when there's like all these people? And he's like, oh, he's just saying that you used to do it at parties. And he's like, do it. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's just like staring at me stone faced. So I start to do it. And he's like, this grin, like the Grinch, like slowly comes on his face, and he's nodding his head and like tapping his hand. He's like, well, that's so great. You even like, it sounds like you're doing the octaves on it when you do, and I'm like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
So that was like my getting through to the guy that wasn't being.
Are you kidding me? I mean, if you're under the pressure
That's
cooker
amazing.
like that, the one thing you can't do, I mean, your mouth goes dry when you're nervous. You can't whistle. That's the worst thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Adam's clutch. He pulled it out.
Wow.
It worked out. I'm not that good of a whistler either. So
Did they have to like quite? I mean, this is a hotel room, guys. So I'm picturing guys and girls and all that stuff.
It wasn't like
and everybody shut up. The kid's gonna whistle.
It's very like it's a very Almost Famous, right?
or Pee Wee in the biker bar. No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't.
Right.
All right, Sam. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is To the Kill. Wasn't too far off.
Close.
But like as I was listening to it, as I listened to both songs, and as I've mentioned before, like I'll make a playlist and put it in the reverse ranking, and I had To the Kill at the bottom. I'm like, yeah, the song, like whatever. And then I listen to Confessions, and I listen to this one. I'm like, actually, I like this one a little bit better. It's got some more guitar freakouts, which is fine. Doesn't mean it's bad or not enjoyable. And maybe this is why I liked it more. But my dad would hate this.
You remember?
Would absolutely.
You remember?
He would have said like, that's not music. Like what is that? That's not music.
You'd have to
but,
play him "Give Me the Car" after that.
Come on, Dad, give me the car tonight. Come on, Dad, give me the car tonight.
Well, it's a bonus track, but there's no
that
chance he would like that any more than that.
It's very generation gap.
I didn't listen to the bonus
centric.
tracks. And it sounds like They Might Be Giants pulled out some of the guitar solo parts for the opening of Absolutely Bill's Mood, which is from their first album. It's like it was over a telephone.
Oh yeah. I can hear that.
That's right.
So totally.
Sam.
Nice one.
And
That's deep.
yeah,
That's reaching
and
deep.
But yeah, so it was like just little bits of like that kind of caught my ear, and I was like, it's very white boy angst, but for me it worked well. So it worked.
Let's
better
be
than
clear.
Confessions. And
Sorry, the whole album is white boy
Yeah, go
angst.
ahead.
I mean, that's the genre.
Oh yeah. Well, it moves. There's white boy angst, and then it moves to white boy lust.
True.
Like which is conflated
Yes.
with angst, but it's not so angsty. It's more like, as we will come to talk about, why can't I get just one
Right.
fuck? Like,
Oh shit! Are we gonna say
more
fuck?
That,
All right, go ahead.
That urgency. Oh god. I'm sorry. Can we
We'll
fix
say
that post
screw.
too?
We'll say screw.
All right. Go ahead,
Kiss.
Dan.
We'll just say kiss. Why can't we just give it one and kiss?
I'm just kidding, Sam. You weren't that wrong at all. My number 9 is Confessions.
People worry worry. What are they worrying about today? People worry. What are they worrying about today? Seem like there's a good reason to worry, worry, worry.
Look, it's super cool that it's basically Bob Dylan's Ballad of a Thin Man. Like, I love that they just completely cribbed that melody. I'm like, where have I heard this before? And it took me a minute. It just goes on and on. I think you said that, Sam. Like, I just don't feel like it goes anywhere until it starts to, crescendo toward the end, right? He starts to yell. The drums are hitting in unison.
Yeah.
It builds. And then they start over again, kind of all calm. I'm like, wait, what? That was your finish, guys. So yeah, to me, just not, again, hard decisions to be made here, but these two in my mind are not at the same level as the rest of this album.
Fair enough.
Exhale, Jim. Exhale.
I hate that we can't all talk about Confessions right now. Now I have to go to another song and come back to Confessions.
Or Baby.
It's not the Cathcart method right now.
The point is that I'm not going to put it as my number 8. It's higher than that. So I'm now at number 8, leading off at number 8, and it's Promise. A Promise. The first 2 words I wrote down for this is "Let's go" in all caps. Just freaking let's go. The lyrics are so fun to sing. The only reason it's number 8 is because they repeat, and so that's the only, ding there. But anyway, it is absolutely, Please Ignore My Vacant Stares is an unbelievable lyric. Do you know what it's like to hate way down deep inside? I can't believe how many times I've sung this song and loved every second of it. The da 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 is amazing, but it's not as amazing as 2, 3, 4. And I just think it's one of the best moments in the album. And I love that he says Mr. Logic instead of Logic is telling me it's not going to happen. Mr. Logic tells me.
Totally.
Oh God, I love this song. I can't believe it's number 8.
The angst.
Okay, so here's my definite. I can't believe this is down at number 8, and it's the where do we put the hit? So Blister in the Sun is my number 8.
I knew somebody.
Yeah, I did too.
And
you've heard it too many times. That's why it's there.
I'm good now at taking a step back and realizing the merits of a song I've heard a million times, but I've also played this a million times, and I was like, my first inkling was, is this riff super dumb, or is it great that it's just so simple and great? And I think it's somewhere in the middle. The drums following it are so cool.
That's what makes it great.
Yeah. And I think I've heard it, I've played it so many times, and I've seen them play it live so many times that I forget how great the recording is and how much energy is in the recording. It's like every other version pales. And they apparently lost the master tapes. They had to re-record it for the Grosse Pointe Blank soundtrack. Which is weird because it's such a great record. You throw away tapes. I don't know the whole story on that. Apparently, when Gordon first played it for them, Victor and Brian had done a lot of jazz stuff, and they were like, oh, it sounds like this other song called Blues in the Closet by a guy named Oscar Pettiford. And he wouldn't know that because he's only 18. But apparently there's a jazz standard that has a slightly similar feel. It's not identical, but it's pretty close. But it was just one of those, like, there's only so many notes, and he figured it out. It's another song where they do the breakdown and everyone takes a solo. Like I said, there's like 2 or 3 of those. It's also, since it's the first song on the record, the first like real break down to almost nothing. And we talked about The Alarm doing this in concert overly dramatically way too many times, but I never noticed how much they do it on this record, and I don't care, because every time they do it, it's so interesting and good that when they bring it back up, it's totally fine. I mentioned Dan's band. Dan, what was the name of the band that you covered this song in?
Backstep Forward.
Backstep Forward.
Not currently on Spotify.
Okay.
We joined Neil Young in our protest of Joe Rogan.
Okay, good.
As should we all.
So my grandpa's band Geezer has been doing this for a while. They usually think it's Island in the Sun and play Blister in the Sun accidentally, or vice versa. But it's one of those songs we were talking about hearing it all the time on 91X, and that's the weird thing about this song.
You hear it all the time.
Yeah. Is that they weren't really playing it. Again, this came out in 1983. They definitely didn't play it in 83. They didn't play this in 84. They didn't play this in 85. They didn't play this in 86. I don't even think they were playing it in 87, which is so crazy, because I remember they started to do this thing where they would you would call in and they would play the most requested songs of the night, and I would listen to that. I never called in, but I was curious what people were calling for, and suddenly out of nowhere the Femmes were ending up in this top 5 every night, and then it just became a radio standard. And it's like we don't even remember that there was a time when alternative radio wasn't all over this. So Brian Ritchie has this great quote that I watched today in an interview where he says, "It became a standard before it was a hit. It was such a cult classic."
That's great.
That's a great quote.
Which it just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah,
now it does, because the internet is just everything's either a YouTube hit. Radio doesn't even matter now. But back then there was it stopped being, there's a regional hit. It was it would just go national.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's amazing. That's a great quote.
Yeah. The other thing that I remember about this song more than anything is I love when a band opens with their biggest hit. And at the K-Rock acoustic show, this was the first song they played. And I remember thinking,
great.
That is so great. They can only play 5 songs probably, and they opened with this. I'm like, yeah, great opener, great album opener. And they probably always save it, but why not play it first? So they did.
Get everyone on their feet. I love it.
That's the opposite of REM playing Stand on the 1989 Green tour. They played that first just to get it out of the way, because oh God.
I thought they played it second though, because first is too big. Second was just get it out of the way.
I think it opened with Stand. I think.
Yeah, we'll have to fact check that.
Yeah.
But I do love that they did that.
Yeah. All right, Sam.
My number 8 is same as Jim's, Promise.
Your loving, but my logic tells me it never gonna happen, and then my defenses say I didn't want it anyway. But sometimes I'm a liar. Could you ever want me to?
It's instantly memorable for the drop, and this is only a guess. And it's a really great hook, and along with the ba da ba da ba ba ba, such a great breakdown. But also in the song, there's so much longing. There's so much honesty. The lyrics are so, and the way that he ventures into the speak singing that he does. I mean, he does it on a bunch of songs, but this one as well. It just really humanizes the character that he's singing. And so and again, my line on here is probably under number 9. So this one's all the rest of these I like and love, and have sung a million times. And this one, I think I have it mentioned somewhere else with another song, but these first the first 4 songs, come on, it is they're so strong. And then it goes to Confessions, and then it finishes out side 1, which
Jim is flinching.
Well, I mean, just spoilers. Spoilers. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, but it's I mean, it's different. Tonally, Confessions is different from the first 4 songs. Like out of the gate, Blister in the Sun,
Kiss Off,
which the first 4 of them are. Kiss
Please
Off,
Do Not Go,
Promise, Please Do Not Go, and then Confessions, and then it's just well, okay, but I mean, the album is so freaking strong, it's insane. So, but this is where it is. Promise, number 8.
Daniel.
Sam, you are right. Jim, you are right. Number 8 is Promise. My line is probably between 8 and 9. So Promise is definitely super quality. You guys have said all the good things here. The only thing I'll add is just a build on everything Sam was just saying, which is, yes, the longing. And he goes into this long thing of, I want your lovin', but it's not going to happen. And my defense says this, like he's talking to his therapist practically, and this and this and this. And then after he totally unpacks this whole thing about how important it is, that's when he ends it with, this is only a guess. Like, that's what I love. Not only is the line great because everything stops, but he's just gone down this whole unbelievably self-aware like analysis of everything that's going on, and then he's like, but I actually have no fucking idea. I don't know what's going on, which is so him. So anyways, that's the other piece I really love about this song.
So him, and I can't stop thinking about how crazy that he came up with all this as a 16, 17, and 18-year-old.
Completely.
It's insane.
Like subject matter wise, it makes total sense. Like to Sam's point, this album's about like two things. Number one, I'm angry. Number two, I'm horny. Or maybe flip which one's one and which one's two. So like subject matter wise, that's it. But yeah, to your point, sort of the sophistication and cleverness with which he talks about those things is the part that's like stunning.
Yeah. And just clever ways to come up with it. It's just
totally
unreal.
And slipping in a verse from an old blues song. And it doesn't seem out of place.
That is really impressive.
Number 7. People worry. What
there
are they worrying about today?
So we weren't that crazy. It's not like you had it top 4.
Is there something you want to confess to us?
It was number 3 on my first list. The first blush through the album, I was like, God. Because I hadn't heard it in a while, and I was just so...
Yeah.
And when it, when he gets to the stuttering, but I mean, it's so good. And then, have we got an army? And I was smiling, just like, oh my God, I love this moment in life when you haven't heard a song in a decade, and you know every word, and then when the pause comes and it's do it tonight. We're gonna do it. I mean, it was just, I'm pumping my arms in the air, and I'm like, this is number 3. This is at least number 3, and it falls with repeated. And to be truthful, I remember it not being my favorite back then, but God, it's so good. I love the end. Now you see, I learned my lessons, and I don't even want to hear about your confessions. I mean, it's just it's perfect. I love this song. I made a horrible mistake at number 7. It deserves more. But that's what my number 7 is. Adam.
All right. This is my maybe biggest faller as well. I think I had this one at number 1. My whole life that I can remember, I think I had Please Do Not Go at number 1, and now I have it at number 7. For some reason, that song always really...
Interesting.
It's just so simple, and I thought that meant I loved it. I have no idea. But I think in listening to it with a more critical ear, I'm like, it's pretty basic as far as like a 50s like prom song, basically, in a great way, but it's still like a pretty basic song. It has maybe the best bass solo of all time, and we've said, could the band exist without Brian Ritchie? We can't even say enough about this guy. It's such a what's another band other than like Primus, where the bass is really driving it and the guitar is almost secondary, almost doesn't need to be there on some songs, and that riff is just so simple, so great. Played it a million times with Jim and probably Dan too, and just super dig it. And I have this great memory of it. I was just in San Luis Obispo for the first time in, oh my God, almost 30 years. I was dating a girl that you guys probably all remember, Jessica, and we went walking around town one night and could hear a band playing from somewhere. And we couldn't figure out where it was. We just walked around trying to find it. And it was like, it sounded like white boy reggae, basically. But I'm like, it almost sounds like they're playing Please Do Not Go by the Femmes. in a almost reggae style, which it almost sort of is already.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
But I'm like, there's no
Totally.
way that's what it is. We find the place, and they've been playing it for like 10 minutes, and we get up there, and that is exactly what they're doing, and it sounded incredible. And I'm like, okay, name that tune.
That's awesome.
How many points do I get for that? But I romanticized that night a lot for some reason, and just being young, and
That's
let's
cool.
find a party in this strange town I don't know, and finding it and hearing this song. I don't know why I love that memory.
That's a great memory. I love that.
My number 7 is Good Feeling. I don't know if I ever really listened to this song before this. It's the number 10 song on an album that's just packed, and then it gets slow. But my first impression upon hearing it and doing my homework was the quote, "Everyone who heard the Velvet Underground started a band." And this is it. Whereas so much of the rest of the album has feints to slowness or speeds up or other guitar freakouts, this one plays it pretty direct all the way through. The piano and violin also stand out from the rest of the record. Like I think it was Jim was saying, as does the xylophone in Gone Daddy Gone stands out as well. But And I'm sure I heard it a few times, but not very many. And I like the echo back to the 50s, the stay, which at some point, might have people probably knew it better from Jackson Browne than like the old 50s doo-wop tune. Just a little longer, but his delivery is so Lou Reed. The way the band plays it is so Velvet Underground.
That's a great call. Yeah.
And then at the very end, where the piano, they let it ring out. It's very Day in the Life, where he just hits it and lets it just kind of fade out until he like takes his foot off the pedal and you can hear it on there. And that's the end of the album. It's really good.
That's a cool reference
7.
because
It's really
they're
good.
both album closers.
That's
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Dan, for bringing it home for me.
Television, Velvet Underground is the second one, and there's a third one where so many comparisons to them, and I don't know how I never thought of it. I got into the Velvets the same year that I heard Violent Femmes for the first time, especially on this song. Yeah, what you like Sunday Morning and songs like that, and solo Lou Reed. You've got a piano, and it's not a viola, but it's in the ballpark, and he does kind of sing speak. How did I never notice?
Yeah.
And Brian Ritchie said that they were the absolute number one influence on them when they recorded this record, and I've never thought of it once.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
great.
believe it. I can't believe it. But yeah, on that song, I can definitely hear it.
I read the third one. I know what you're talking about, Adam. The third influence, and I'd never thought of it. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, I see it, but I don't get credit because I never thought of it myself. I'm sure Adam's bringing it up at some point. So
I have it just to bring up as it comes up.
Go.
So just say what do you think it is?
Jonathan Richman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Which makes sense. The very speaky, singy,
yeah, and by absolute coincidence, I picked my Jonathan Richman shirt off the top of
I know. I was just about to
my
say
stuff. Like literally, it's total coincidence. Every once in a while, I'll put a little thought into it, but I
it's
just happened to
I Jonathan, right? That's the album that he's wearing. That shirt.
Total
Yeah.
I Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the shirt
But
you're wearing
where
right now?
Jonathan. He wears a shirt exactly like
The
this,
striped
and it's
blue and
just
white.
a coincidence.
Yeah, yeah.
But Jonathan, who I adore for a million reasons, he's got like a little I don't know what's the right word I want to say, like he's got a screw loose in the most beautiful way, like so many people I love, but with Gordon you never think that. You think he's just clever. He's like he's
sharp as a
kid.
knife, and he's coming for you.
Yeah, so
There's also a different I feel like Jonathan's like happy-go-lucky, and Gordon's like I've got a bone to pick,
And an army.
Yeah, totally.
and an army.
And kids to drown.
Oh God!
But that's the next record.
Gosh.
But that's the next
totally.
record. Sorry.
I forget what number we're on. I forgot to number my list. Are we on 7? Yeah.
7.
I'm with you, Adam. Blister in a Sun, number 7.
When I'm out walking, I strut my stuff, and I'm so strung out. I'm high as a kite, I just
I am the guy you're talking about. I'm the guy that always preaches, do not penalize a song because it's popular. It's my stump every time.
Yep.
I will admit / confess to you guys, I had to muster all my strength on this one because I am so sick of this song. It's
Fair. That's fair.
I just, in my opinion, it doesn't hold up as well to those endless 9 to an X replays. Interesting history lesson, Adam. I don't remember that, but I do remember some period of time where just turn on 9 to an X and I'm like, really? Like there's other songs. But to the degree that I can put that out of my head, which I'm forcing myself to do, if you can go back to the first time you hear this song, it's undeniable that you're like, what is that song? It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's this unbelievable mix of, we talk about like Smith songs and stuff where the music is upbeat and the lyrics are down, but this is more than just kind of like sort of happy. This is like full on. It reminds me of like when Snoopy does the dance and his head goes like back and forth and the toes. It's like that much bliss, and yet the lyrics are so anxious, but they're also like silly, like Big Hands, I Know You're the One. Like who doesn't love singing that lyric? While you're dancing all happy, he's talking about staining his sheets, right? Like it's just, there's so much about this. I totally understand why it's as huge or became as huge as it did. It just, the reason it's lower is, Jim, you talked about repeat listens. For me, this is one where even coming into this, just the weight of the repeat listens couldn't put it higher. It reminds me of when I drink too much of my favorite alcohol or I eat too much of my favorite food. At some point, you start to feel a little bit queasy, and that's where I am with this.
This was a song I feel like that all the girls sang. Like this was the one that they always like. I mean, Added Up was a little too, but I mean still a little bit. But Blister in the Sun, just like everybody always just singing it.
All right, my number 6 is Gone Daddy Gone. The Love Is Gone. Adam, I cannot believe you didn't tell the prom story. I mean, he literally, I don't know why this was a thing, but we gave, like in our high school, you would have that photo with your date at prom, and then you'd have a bunch of like high school senior photos, the little miniatures made, and you'd hand them to each other. So I had a picture of my friends with their prom dates, and they'd write a little message on the back. And Adam's message was the lyrics to this song: "Beautiful girl, love your dress, lipstick, smile, oh yes, beautiful girl. Where she is now, I can only guess, because he got ditched at his senior prom." And I remember that
someone got sick. Someone got sick the day of, so not the best night of my life, but it was all right. She's cool.
Oh my God, is this going out on the airwaves and she could possibly hear it?
Wow, this episode is full of caveats to ex-girlfriends.
Oh my God. Anyway, the drum solo, the guitar solo, the breaks that you were talking about earlier, I absolutely love. What a single. This is a single. I mean, it's just great. It's number 6 because there are better singles on this album. 5 of them, to be specific. And what else was I going to say about this? Oh, I was working at a hotel. Yes,
as a waitress
waiting
in a cocktail bar.
I'm like, not going to take that bait, but go ahead.
And
I'll do it.
And I'm in the cafeteria at the hotel and talking about whatever band I'm going to see on the weekend. And this guy's like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you liked cool music. I do too." We strike up a conversation. And then somehow it leads to, I was in a video for an alternative kind of rock band back in the 80s, and it's the kid. He was the kid in the Gone Daddy Gone video. And I was like, no way. And I looked it up, and I'm like, holy shit, that is you. So I know the kid in that video.
Have you seen yourself? Did you know that this was you?
I thought that was cool.
A video that I had no recollection of seeing until I saw it like a few years ago.
Me neither.
And was like, there it is. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It means nothing to me. Yeah.
But again, that's the kind of thing where if MTV wasn't playing it, which they weren't, then how are we going to see it in 1983 or 82?
That's my number 6.
My number 6 is Promise. I think I'm the last one to say that one. You guys described it just great, so I don't have a whole lot to add. the vocal build of before it comes in on the 1, 2, 3, 4, amazing. The stutter the second time he says Mr. Logic, Mr. Logic, Mr. Logic, so great. The line, there's nothing like what I'm going through, is one of my favorites on the entire album. Like that kind of teen thing where you're thinking, you're your own world, There is somebody that thinks that this song is the best one on the album, and that's our guest ranker for this episode.
Ooh, guest ranker.
So when I was in college, I interned for BMG Music, and one of my fellow interns was a guy named Jay Scavo, who was my age but was managing a band, and the band was called Possum Dixon. And I
love them.
Yeah, I said, what do they sound like? And he shrugged and said, Violent Femmes. I'm like, okay. And I heard it a year later, and it is easily one of my favorite self-titled debuts of all time. I probably like it more than the Violent Femmes record. It is so good. And a year after that, I moved to the Bay Area and saw Possum Dixon open up for the Lemonheads at the Fillmore, and Jay was there, and we talked. And one of the guys from the band came over, and we were talking, and he said that they'd just gone on tour with Violent Femmes, getting to open for their heroes, who they were compared to, and every night they would go out and join them on Black Girls for like crazy freak out. So years later, I got to know the singer Rob Zabrecky a little bit. If you don't know, he became a magician, a world-renowned, macabre, old-style Harry Houdini meets Anthony Perkins magician. Amazing performer and person. And I reached out to him, and he wrote me back what his favorite song on the album was, and it is this one. So he says, to me, Promise is a perfect song. It's structurally economical, lyrically provocative, and includes one of the best 2, 3, 4 count back-ins to a verse ever recorded. Plus, I've always loved songs that start with squirrely guitar riffs. So thanks, Rob, for sending that in. It's his number 1. It is my number 6.
I'd like to change my list.
Thanks,
Promise
Rob.
is now my number 1. That's awesome. That is super cool.
My number 6 is Gone Daddy Gone. Xylophone, think back with me, folks. Xylophone was just a goofy instrument we played in elementary school. Like in music class, you'd go in and they had like the little wood planks for the xylophone thing, and you'd play it, or maybe it was like the little multicolored one that was just like 10 bars, and you just have like the one you just plank.
When you say was, is it suddenly cool now? Like, I think it remains on the not cool list.
No, that's what I'm saying, is before this song, that's all it was. It was just like, it's just a weird fringe instrument that you just kind of played in music class in elementary school. And then when you heard this song, because the rest of the album is so cool, it's just oozing cool and just weird and geek and all that sort of stuff. And then you hear this instrument on this one song, on this upbeat song, you're like, fuck yeah, like xylophone's awesome. Like, I love the xylophone. So like that was the one thing that really stood out to me. All of a sudden, it's like an anchor instrument in a lament about lost love. The gone daddy, the love is gone, and it's his love. It's not her love. It's like, she didn't leave me. She's like, I'm just done. Like, whatever. And I did, like Adam mentioned, learn that the switch and walk verse was, I saw it was credited to Muddy Waters, I Just Want to Make Love to You, which kind of cements the white guy blues feel of a lot of this record, and also that the song was famously covered by Gnarls Barkley. But when I looked it up on Spotify, Gnarls Barkley, it was Gone Daddy Gone / I Just Want to Make Love to You. So they actually were crediting that song, which I think's pretty commendable, because it's, otherwise it's just, you're just ripping off some old blues guy, which white guys have done for centuries, it seems like, but it's, mostly just as we're talking about music. But I thought that was kind of cool that they actually kind of put that in there, because it's straight up one of the verses.
Yeah,
in the
it's
song,
credited to Gano / Willie Dixon, who wrote it.
Nice. So yeah, that's my number 6, Gone Daddy Gone.
My number 6 is Good Feeling.
Good feeling, won't always seem like you're leaving when I need you here just a little longer.
You guys talked about it. It's so surprising, and this is another song I felt like I rediscovered as I listened to it after so long, like you were talking about, Jim. I just forgot how damn pretty this song is, and that's really remarkable after an album that's full of like quite a lot of bile and hormones and all this other stuff. It's, to me, in some ways, it's like the first 9 songs are that alcohol-fueled night before, and then Good Feeling is the next morning when like you've kind of slept it off. Some mistakes were made, some things were said that shouldn't have been said, and like today's a new day. It's gonna be better, and I think it deserves to be on that list of like great closing tracks. Like it's not coincidence. You know, we've complained in other episodes about why the hell would you take a great album and end on that track. This is the opposite. Good Feeling is exactly the perfect bow on this album, and just when you think you got the Femmes pegged as one thing, you're like, wait a second, like this is so pretty. I love that violin fiddle that comes in. I do want to note we've now had back-to-back fiddle albums between Rod Stewart and this, so maybe we're on a roll. I can't wait to see what's next. But yeah, just a totally beautiful song, and I love their restraint after everything else where they tried to throw so much in. I think it took a lot for them to just really strip this down.
I didn't see it as the night or the morning after. I saw it the same night. You're home from the party. You know, you've totally spent, and now you know the hangover's coming tomorrow morning, and you're like, oh God, Good Feeling. Just stay with me a little longer because that was so.
There you go.
Good.
I like it. I'll take that. You're away from the party. You're away from the madness at least. Yeah. But I hear you. The hangover has not maybe hit yet.
That's great. All right, top 5. Here we go. Blister.
My hearts will be broken.
Blister in the Sun is my number 5. I was wondering where this would land. I feel like this is the right spot. I don't know. I look at this. I look at my list, and I'm happy with this where it is. Everybody knows how to play the riff, right, on guitar. But do you know how to play that bass line in the chorus? It is so fun to play. Boom, 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 doom, 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 doom. If you can get that down, the whole song, I don't get tired of it, Dan. I would just listen to that bass line through that. Anyway, I make it through time and time again.
I did mean to say, because I think Sam was praising the drums. I know we've praised the bass so much, but the bass on Blister in the Sun absolutely makes the song. Like that is the best part of that song in my opinion.
And the drum,
it's phenomenal.
So your opening track on the album of your entire band's career, drum breaks, bass breaks in the first song, and then here comes Gordon with the whisper to a scream, and it's totally a little bit softer now, a little bit softer now. And so all three get to shine on this opener, and a college rock anthem is born. It's unbelievable. It should be number 1.
Great. So
Perfect.
great.
That's so great. I wrote Shout Breakdown, but I don't think I said it. So yeah, you totally a little bit softer now is exactly it. My number 5 is Prove My Love.
Just last night I was reminded of just how bad it had gotten and just how sick I had become.
And I thought this was suddenly going to go way up higher. I love that it's very similar. We were talking about like there's a few like upbeat ones where Prove My Love, Kiss Off and Out of That are pretty much a similar feel. And I never noticed that, which says a lot about how just great these songs are. They're different in good, but like
go ahead.
The tempo of it, and they're just kind of driving and sing-along choruses, but they're different. They're different.
Yeah.
But like,
There's pop songs and then there's sort of anthem. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but they're in the same world. But this one kind of comes late in the album.
This is like Ron Burgundy saying San Diego, a whale's vagina. It's an agree to disagree moment. But keep going.
Which song album? Which album?
My Love.
Saying "Prove My Love," "Add It Up," and "Kiss Off" are in the same category, and then just
like
go ahead.
I think tempo wise and overall feel.
I'm with you on that.
Yep.
So, but it comes kind of late in the album, and it's like, oh, here's another real good little short pop that just like, then it's like a couple slow ones, and it kind of tapers off mood wise at the end, but this is kind of Gone Daddy Gone is right before the end, but that's kind of like a weird quirky one. I don't really put it in the same category. Anyway, it's so great, and it made me think so much about how they use three basic simple instruments in different ways and just combine them, coming in different orders. Oh, this one's gonna start with just drums, bass. This one's gonna just start with drums. Then this, and hearing this be basically in that style of these other songs, but it just drums and then the bass and then the vocals and then the guitar comes in. It's just so great the way they've arranged these things. It's so simple, but it works really, really well. The harmonies on the chorus are maybe my favorite harmonies on the whole album. Great stuff. And there's a lot of, we haven't mentioned this, there's a bunch of songs where they do this thing where the bassist and the drummer will sing and repeat, and Gordon sings another part that he sang elsewhere in the song over it, and it works so well. And again, you don't notice it until you're taking stock and this is kind of like this, but like it doesn't matter. I've never noticed it before, and I still don't care because they do it so well. And I love this song.
As you should.
My number 5. Yes, as I should. My number 5 is "Prove My Love." Those brush drums that start the song. Any album, any song you heard after this that had those brushes, that band sounded like the Violent Femmes. You're like, oh, this sounds like the Violent Femmes. It's just those brushes. Like it's so indelible to the sound of this record and this band. And again, like, I mean, growing up, we're listening to rock. We're listening to like fucking Rush. We're listening to like Neil Peart. We're listening to Stuart Copeland. We're listening to like John fucking Bonham, like these big ass drums. And here comes the Violent Femmes, and it's just like and you're just like, what? Like, where did this come from? And more genius bass by Brian Ritchie. More hyperkinetic Telecaster from Gordon. Such a great 3-piece. I mean, Adam was just saying, like, it's just so each part on this record, and it's, I mean, how do you produce that? How do you produce, like, was it Dan that was saying early on that like everything's up front?
Jim, yeah.
Like everything is Jim. It was just right up front, and not in your face. Just, you can hear it's distinct, and you can hear each piece, and each piece is perfect. And lyrics like, we're out of mints, past the lifesavers, I'm dropping hints, candy for candy coated tongue. The lyrics are so randy, so horny, but they feel harmless. Like, you get it, like you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, but you're like, it's not like that, yeah, I want to go have sex thing. It's like, yeah, I know what he's saying, but yeah, he doesn't really mean it, or something. Like, it feels harmless. It's so weird. He just wants to prove his love, right? Like, that's all he's doing. It's devotional, but from his whiny, geeky voice, it felt like he was singing for us, like the geeky, nerdy white kids. And he's not singing like for the Frank Sinatras or the Marvin Gayes. He's singing like for us, which was, like, again, like middle school, high school, like that kind of randy feeling. You're just like, damn, fucking horny, I don't know what to do with this, but this guy knows, he understands.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
The drums, I don't think we've talked about it enough, how, yeah, you're totally right, it's distinctive, but it also, like, it sounds so full. These rock songs, if you can even call them that, but it's just brushes, and and a guy playing an acoustic bass, which again, if you think Brushes makes you think of the Femmes, how many other bands have an acoustic bass?
I know. And
it's his.
New,
it's
new
totally him.
strings. It sounds like he has new strings, and they're really tightly wound. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It is the most unique.
Yeah.
And I didn't know there was an acoustic bass before this, Adam. I didn't know that existed, an acoustic bass.
And he doesn't just play it like
same here.
as like background accompaniment. Like he drives good portions of a bunch of these songs. Like it's in his hands. The song is in his hands.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of acoustic guitar. It's a lot of Gordon playing simple electric guitar.
That's a great point.
And you don't even notice it.
But you think of them as an acoustic band because of that bass.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really
totally.
interesting. The other thing,
Go ahead.
the other thing, Sam, that you hit on right there that I didn't quite put into words, I love it, is what resonates so well with the Femmes is Gordon is like the ultimate underdog, right? He's got a chip on his shoulder. He never once tries to play the total rock star. Like he's not all those guys you mentioned. He's none of the other frontmen. Like you were naming all the drummers. Now let's name all the friggin' singers that are, present themselves as gods. Like that is not Gordon, which is why I love Adam's hotel room story. Like that's exactly what you want that payoff to be. Is like, hey, I found a dude that can whistle Gone Daddy. Yeah. That's so perfect. That's so on brand. And that's exactly what you expect.
Yeah, and it's strange that he's the songwriter. He's the one that came up with all this. And I'm trying to think of other bands like this, and the only one I could think of offhand is Weezer, where he's the main songwriter. He's the main guy, but he's like so introverted and shy.
Weezer's a great comparison, yeah.
Like the other guys are jumping around like crazy and fun to watch, and he's pretty much just standing there.
Yeah.
But it's him. It's his vision for a lot of it.
Totally.
It's such a strange thing that some people just aren't necessarily great performers. I've seen them many times. I don't remember them being that great other than the first time.
I mean, the band kind of carries. I mean, the audience kind of carries you because they're into it and they know every word, and it's almost more about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and once Victor left, it definitely was not the same. They played with other people, and they played the songs way too slow, and it was like I can't watch this. I can't watch this. But this album is just like so crisp and full of energy. It's just amazing.
Is it just brushes and a snare? Victor, is like
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's what it was when we saw him live,
or cymbals at all.
I think he maybe a cymbal splash, tiny one, like a little Cure cymbal or something. I don't know. I mean that's what Jonathan Richman's drummer Tommy would use, was just like a closed hi-hat and a snare. It was just like I can't believe how good this sounds. It's just that. But anyway. That was my point.
Amazing.
But yeah.
I just don't like stand-up drummers. You know this about me. So next subject.
Shut up. Okay.
Which reminds
Daniel.
My number 5 is Please Do Not Go. So you've got this rush of fast anthemic songs to open up the album, and then all of a sudden you get into this beat. I love your San Luis Obispo story, Adam, because it's like you just kind of get into this. Yeah, is that almost like reggae-ish? It's just the guitar kicks in, the drum, the bass and drums come in. It's just like there's the groove, and then even when Gordon starts singing, it's just blissed out. It's this different feeling than the first few songs, and I just love how different it is. In my mind, this song is a total showcase for that acoustic bass. When it stops and the bass solo takes off, like he just goes to town. It's fantastic, which I think this song especially needs, because it's just kind of moving along at this leisurely beat. You're like, all right, we're just kind of in this groove. And then he's just like, I got it from here, and just breaks into that solo. In my mind, it's not as anthemic. Like Jim, I'm kind of digging your sing-along meter that you've been using, and this one's fun to sing along, but it's not, you're not dying to like spit out every word and like high-five each other over kind of how the song just kind of crescendos. This one's a little bit more just like, it breaks up the album in a good way, but that's why it doesn't go higher than 5 for me.
Oh my God, I can't help it. I want to talk about my number 4, but I have to talk about this song and rebut what Dan just said. Holy crap. It's the perfect song for that. It is unbelievable in that respect. Bye, goodbye, bye, goodbye, bye, bye. I mean, the whole crowd goes crazy. Anyway, I'll stop and wait till I talk about it earlier or higher on the list.
Oh my goodness.
I will go to my number 4 instead, which is DD Ranged. We've all been through some shit. Prove My Love is number 4. Special Favors come in 31 flavors. We're out of mints, past lifesavers. I can't tell you how fun this song is. It's number 4 because it's not number 1 because they say the words, he says the words, third verse, same as the first. And it repeats that. And I just want another verse of just genius because the first 2 verses are perfect.
But at least he acknowledges it.
I love it.
Like,
It's
I
a
love
Herman
it.
Hermits.
He's like, hey,
Yeah, it's a Herman.
I admit it.
Hermits, freaking,
exactly.
it's perfect.
I wrote that down and I forgot to mention Herman's Hermits, like Henry VIII, one of my absolute favorite songs when I was a little kid, and he
Yes.
And the Ramones, Judy is a Punk.
yes, good one.
What do you think? Tell
great
me
song.
honestly. Wait. I mean, oh God. It's such a great song. And so I put it above Blister in the Sun because it's a better single than that, and better single than Gone Daddy Gone. Which, did we talk about what the singles off this album were? Were there none because it wasn't a thing?
Well, the only video that they made was Gone Daddy Gone. The interview that I saw was all about Blister in the Sun, and they were saying they didn't want to release it as a single because it didn't have a bass drum. So I don't know if Gone Daddy Gone was like actually released as a single. I didn't look it up. So
I'm on the Wikipedia page. I don't see any singles listed. They usually say under the chronology, they'll usually say like what the singles are. There's no singles.
I didn't see it mentioned.
It's a fucking Wisconsin dudes on Slash Records. There's no single. It's just a record.
Exactly.
It's
You're
just
lucky you're getting an album deal, pal.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, Prove My Love is number 4,
Fucking
and
weirdos.
we're into the top 4, and it's all amazing. The whole thing's amazing, but this is just rarefied air. All right, Adam.
except for my number 4, because you guys have already all mentioned it ages ago, and that's Confessions. And
I like it.
Whoa.
This
like
one was
it.
all over the place for me because I'm like, I never really liked that song, is what I in my head. And yes, Ballad of a Thin Man. I definitely didn't know the Dylan song until 20 years ago when I first finally got Highway 61 revisited, which is when
I didn't know the Dylan song until 20 years ago. Well,
Seriously.
you knew it before me. I'll tell you that.
We're so old. Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of hard to unhear, but I don't care. There's so much great. It's them getting weird in parts. There's the dissonance. But the part that I think I was waiting for Dan to say, because it just seemed like such a Dan part, and he didn't mention it, but then Jim did, which is the breakdown, the middle 8, talking about the army, which is just it's so anti-establishment in a way that as a teenager I wanted to hear. And I'm not anti-military, but it's just sort of, I don't know, the way he says it, it's so great. It could be my favorite moment on the whole album, the way they break it down and bring it back in. It's very Doorsy. I know that we've gone there
good point.
before.
Oh yeah.
But
Wow.
And I'm not into it's not. I mean, that's a little whatever. But like we got an army.
We're gonna teach you how to fight like a man.
Yeah, because I mean, you're talking about a guy who like didn't play sports, was a scrawny teenager, was
Would have never guessed.
couldn't get a date, all that shit. So like
His dad was a preacher.
No, I'm talking about me, but yes, Gordon.
Oh, hilarious!
you.
I thought you were talking about Gordon also.
I
That's
knew
so
he was
funny.
talking about him.
But funny enough, he gets way more into it on the second album, but it hasn't come up yet that his dad was a preacher, a Baptist preacher. So there's some slight allusions to religion here. Mentioning Confessions is one thing, but it's just off the rails on Hollow Ground, which is such an incredible record. If you put a gun to my head, I'm not sure I could pick a favorite. It's one of those there, because I think of them Like, I think of them like this. I think of them as one tape that I listened to like over when it was done, flip it back over, listen to it over and over and over.
Because by the time a lot of us got into them, Hollowed Ground was out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it was almost like those two records,
and a lot more songs like Confessions. It's definitely not that fun of a record, but I mean, there's some stuff.
Starts off with Fratricide, well, super cool.
Yeah,
That's
Jesus
neat.
Walking in the Water is fun.
Drowning My Kids.
Didn't speak to me as an atheist Jew, but whatever. But yeah, it's just. Great one. I'm kind of surprised that you guys had it as low as you did. I thought that was going to be a sleeper for someone else, but that's my number 4.
My number 4 is mine. Do I have this the highest? Blister in the Sun?
I think you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah.
I might. I think so. And, it's been said, like, the bright picked melody at the open, it's bright, like it stands out, like it's again, like those kind of clear new strings sort of sound, and then the snare cracks, like it's so like formulaic almost, it feels like at this point in time, but it was so good. The shuffle starts, the lyrics kick in, and then what are we even talking about? I just might stop to check you out. Is such a sexy lyric. I just got to point that out. Like it's again, it's just like this nerdy guy. It's like high as a kite. I just might stop to check you out. It's like, all right, and that's like when you hear it in the dance club, like you're there and it's just like, okay, like I just might stop to check you out. But what is a Blister in the Sun? Who's Big Hands? Like what? Like so it's so weird. Like, are you talking about like a heat blister? Like, that sounds gross. That doesn't sound like super sexy, but the breakdown is genius. But this song started for me at number 1 because it's the first song on the album.
And my worst song.
Like that's how I do it. Like, I'm like, okay, first song, like number 1, but and I think at some point I was really surprised that it slipped to number 4. And I don't know if any of y'all were surprised that it slipped down so far for y'all, but because it's so iconic, and Dan's sick of it and whatever, and it still has a lot of magic for me. But I was just like, there's better songs than this. It was so weird, but
that's a great feeling for an album, though, when you go in being like, this is great, I think it's going to be number 1, and then you find 3 to go above it. Like, that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Good feeling.
Yeah.
Good feeling.
Yeah.
I corrected myself.
In harmony, we both said it.
Yeah, nice. We're all good.
I think I'm the highest to have this one at number 4, and I can't believe it. I thought you guys were going to yell at me for having it too high, but you guys are wrong, Daddy, wrong. Gone, Daddy, Gone is... Thank you, Jim.
Here comes the Oingo Boingo.
Jim's grimacing. Gone, Daddy, Gone is number 4, in my opinion.
Beautiful girl, lovely dress, high school smiles, oh yes. Beautiful girl, lovely dress, where she is now I can only guess, cause it's gone, Daddy, gone.
You guys know this about me. I am a sucker for relentless energy. Just start big, don't fucking stop the freight train. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Jim, was it you that put in all capital letters, let's go? That's this. Look, they didn't just say, let's be fun and like include a little xylophone. They basically said, hey, let's bring in Mr. Xylophone, and the xylophone was like, you guys move aside, this song is mine. I mean, the xylophone hijacks this song in an almost comic way. It so totally dominates the song. And talk about like infectious. If we're going to call the Violent Femmes infectious, which I think is totally fair, it's just so infectious. Just like it delivers. It's all over the place. The xylophone solo, as we know, is iconic.
A solo, a xylophone,
and a hell of a solo. Not even like just a little bit.
Yes. It's not phoning it in. He's ripping it.
It's whistleable.
So I hear. So even under pressure, we already talked about this, but like just the trading licks back and forth and the drum fills in between each one, so friggin' fun. This song was made to like be a centerpiece live. Without the xylophone, this thing ain't anywhere close to the top, but for that reason, it's number 4 with a bullet.
That's what I want to hear. You know, like you hear those songs that's like, oh, like Beatles lyrics isolated or John Bonham's drums isolated. I want to hear this song without the xylophone.
Oh,
what has
it's
Gone Daddy
sparse.
Gone without that?
Would be my guess.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that there are live versions where they don't bring out the xylophone or the Boingo style.
Those are some upset audiences. I paid for xylophone, goddammit.
Where's the fucking
All right, so bronze medal.
Oh, boy, it's getting ugly
so
now.
now number 3, bronze medal is Please Do Not Go.
Tell your man I'm stuck on this lovely girl. Costing me, she mean all the world. But then she like another guy. I fall down dead, she never see the tears I cry.
Do you guys know that joy that you get when you're singing Pretty Women Out Walking with Gorillas and with your friends, and and it's look over there, and all your boys are like there, it's such a great, like, just happy joy spark. What is the endorphins are released in your brain or whatever. Please Do Not Go is like 3 minutes of that, just somebody just hitting that endorphin button. Just you're gonna hit it over and over and over and over and over again. The bass line is so fun to play from the very beginning, just boom boom da-da, and you could sing it in your head. It's even more fun if you could pick it out on a guitar or a bass. The reggae beat, the chorus is amazing. I love the little high harmony on Do Not Go. I just love it.
Yeah.
The bridge is amazing, guys. How long
So 50s.
can the days
So 50s.
go on? And then the whoa, whoa, whoa. And I mean, how can you not just hit repeat on this song when it ends? Just let's do it again.
No.
The bass solo is solo. No other noises on the record except
totally.
for Brian. And then I love, you know what she did? She turned around. It's a high squeal.
Sandler.
It is so heaven. Bye, goodbye, I've already talked about. And then just that little moment. Sam, you talked about taking the foot off of the sustain pedal in the piano to end the album. This is one of those, as it's fading out, Gordon says, I've got something to show you. And it's just barely perceptible, but he does it twice at the end. It's amazing. It is number 3. It deserves to be number 3. Shame on you all.
Okay. My number 3 is Kiss Off. And have we talked about this song yet? I'm the first
Nope.
one to talk about it. That means I have the lowest. Yeah, the energy.
Way to go, Adam.
We it's so funny because we've talked so many times about epic opener, and then the second song is a big come down, or the opposite.
Right.
And this one is so weird because it's like, oh, it's such a fun opener, and then it's like, okay, what's going? Like, now we're getting serious. Now it's gonna. That's just
Totally.
really gonna. It's like this album is about to take off. Which just with that opening, it's so simple. Just the acoustic guitar, and it's like, oh shit, here we go. Like every time I hear that intro, it's so great. It's simple. Maybe my favorite chorus on the whole album. There is a little bit of dumb guy voice in the chorus, which I always love me some dumb guy voice. That low, like, what do I have to do? But the centerpiece is the counting. Everything that he's counting about is so interesting. And it didn't occur to me for God knows how long that he might be talking about taking a drink for each one or taking a pill for each one to like get rid of his worries, his cares. And they're just building the intensity of each one,
So when did it occur? You said it never occurred to you, because it never occurred to me. When did you finally go, oh, I wonder if that's what it
maybe
is?
like in the last year or so, like I heard it and I was like, oh, what is it? Like I take one. I never thought about it. Like,
right.
oh, he's just like, but man, with that in mind, and maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. But by the end, you know, and I love, and there is humor. Like he's so clever to list all this stuff, but to have the foresight or whatever to say I'm gonna leave one just for fun, and that's I forget what 8 was for. Like to put that in there is so like almost Python to remember to do something weird like that. And I try and do that when I'm, you know, doing my stuff, and I can only hope that I've done something as simple as that. But 9 for a Lost God, there's your religious reference, and I was like, ooh, you know, like
totally.
that was and fuck it. By the end, he's like, whatever for everything, you know. It's just so great. That is one of the best parts, if not the best part on the whole album. So that's my number 3.
Oh, A+. What a great song.
Yeah, totally.
My number 3, as I've done so many times on this podcast, it feels like, I agree with Jim. Please do not go. It's that walking bass. It's the lyrics. And to your point, Adam, like, you know, it's like, oh, like, what's that reggae song? He sings, Tell Ya Man. Tell Ya Man, I'm stuck on this lovely girl. It's not man.
I thought it was Mom.
It's not Tell Ya Man. No, it's Mom. Tell Ya Man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like that's how I hear it. Like,
I'd rather hear it that way. That's great.
I wouldn't. I tell you, man, but like in that context of that, it is kind of like a white boy reggae. Like I tell you, man, I'm stuck on this lovely girl. I'm not, you know, and it's, you get that patois, and then he walks it back. He's like, no, actually, I'm just a white guy. Like I'm, you know, to me, she means all the world. But it's been said before, the bass solo is genius. Without the bass solo, this song is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's something, but it is. I mean, like, I'm hearing it in my head. I can hear it so clearly, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you play that? Like, and it's just so note perfect. Every note is just so good. But I think in, like, you know, whether 1983 or 1985, I don't know that any of us had heard music that was that audacious. Like, you know, a lot of it's just really formulaic. We're growing up, we're listening to what was your guys' middle of the road station? The
Kixie.
You know, the AM station or whatever. And you're listening to, like, right, like you're listening to Eddie Rabbit, you're listening to fucking REO Speedwagon, you know, shit like that. And this is just, you know, like that bass just like slapping it and just picking it, and it's just right in your face. It's so audacious. And then the weird part about the buys, like what's making him sing it so goofy? I still don't hear Sandler. I'm not going to hear Sandler. But it's not even pleading like he does elsewhere in the song. It's more of a taunt. And then the return of the first verse in the talking, you know, I tell you, I'm stuck. It's just, you start feeling his yearning. You start feeling his ache. And then what Jim said, I have this noted down at the very end, like where it's fading out. I got something to show you. You know, it's just like this little tiny piece. But if you've heard it, you can't hear the song without hearing that part. Like if you're playing the song, you have to run it out all the way through the end to hear him say that, because it's such an integral part of the song, and it's during the fade out. Like that's how great the song is. It's like you have to hear the entire song, especially just to hear that part, and it's amazing. Please do not go. Number 3.
Sam, I think you just put into words another thing that, like, I was feeling but I didn't kind of have, which is the way I tend to do these is I don't listen with headphones all day because I feel like I'm going to go deaf. But for We Will Rank You, you know, about halfway through reviewing an album, when I kind of feel like I'm halfway through my listens, I graduate to headphones because you got to start to appreciate. And Please Do Not Go was way lower in my countdown when I was just sort of listening to it ambiently. But once I got the headphones on, like, it started to climb the charts. And I think it's all of those little things you guys have talked about that once I had my headphones on, I'm like, are you crazy? This is definitely higher. And yeah, anyways, I think a lot of those things are exactly why. These final 3 boys all spent time at number 1 I feel like Casey Kasem. These all spent time at number one. So it pains me to say it, but my number 3 is also Kiss Off, which I'm pretty sure is Jim's number 1, because if you're just going to boil this down to, sing along, that still makes it tough. Anyways, I love in my mind, like, there are some flavors to Gordon in that unique voice. And we've talked about Wine and we've talked about Sort of Geek, but there is snarl at times. And this song just has snarl. Like, he is angry. And the other thing I love about it is this song has angry backup singers. How often, like, when they're singing, do it all the time, yeah, yeah, like, they are flipping you the bird as they sing, yeah, yeah. They're like, we got your back. They're pissed. This is like, on the street, West Side Story style. Like, this is like a rumble, the way he's singing this. And yet, for all that anger, there are so many words you could put before the word off. In fact, Gordon goes through them on another song. It could be fuck off. It could be screw off. But nope. The nice Midwesterner in Gordon goes with kiss off. You can just kiss off. Nice. And that is the perfect word, right? Because instead of it just being nonstop anger, like, kiss off is like, it's like the most polite way, but you don't need a heavier word because the song has so much, like, venom in it already. The Countdown is it's just a total classic. If you don't know The Countdown and you grew up in the 80s, you should have your license revoked. Just like I said, you get the math textbook and the history. This is the final. If you can't sing The Countdown, which plenty of people couldn't, but even if they struggled along the way, everybody grouped back together for I Forgot What 8 Was For. Like, that was like the moment everybody got back in sync. I know that part. I know for sure. Just like, it is one of those. It's become that iconic. It pains me that it's at number 3. I've made a terrible mistake.
Oh my God, Dan, you're so right about that, because this is number 2 for me, and I get to talk about it right after you, which is so great. I love it when this happens around the horn. My wife's a school teacher, and they have this end of the school year party, and at one party, one year they got this guitar player to come. And you guys ever been at a party where you're like, man, this guy's really good, and he's got the total professional hookup, and he's got the pedals. He's such a better guitar player than me, and he's a better singer than me. But I'm drunk, and when he takes a break, I'm totally going to say, hey, do you mind if I grab your guitar and play a couple for the crowd, while you're on break? I've only done it like twice in my life. And this last time was after I was golfing all day before meeting my wife at her school party. I mean, I'm there as a guest, meeting all of her work friends. Not for the first time, but still, I'm supposed to make a good impression. I had no idea. It was supposed to be a golf round, tame and all that stuff. The dude showed up with Jaeger. What are you going to do? Anyway,
Jim.
you
got to bond with them. You got to bond with them.
I cannot believe. I cannot believe
straight for the
that the guy actually said, sure, you can have my guitar. And this Martin D18 comes into my hands. I learned that later. I wasn't aware that it was a Martin at the time. But anyway, and I look at this crowd, and they're all, 40 to 50. And what are you going to play? Right? What do you do?
You got to read the room. You got to read the room.
I just went, I need a person to talk to. And my wife, horrified, is like, oh my God, what's going to happen with this guitar and then this moment in her life? And the entire place went, could it be you? Could it be you? Situations get, and when we got to one, everybody was on it. And at the end of that song, and they did lose their numbers, Dan, and they all came back to it, I forget what it is. And half of them, I'm sure, said 9 for the lost cause and 9 for the lost gods. You know what I mean? But anyway, we came together at the end, and then it was this chant of one more, and then I went to Blister. You know what I mean? And it was just, and then I turned it back to him and I said, thank you so much. And he just looked,
Follow that.
he looked at the death and devastation and just went, what the, how am I going to follow this? And I was like, George Costanza, Sonia, we need to go right now. Let's get out of here. We're legends. Let's leave, you know. Anyway, it's
amazing.
It's number 2 because it deserves to be. I remember memorizing and being so proud when I got 1 through 10. And it's just legendary, and it's number 2. And there's only one song that beats it on this album.
Do we have
one that beats it? That one that beats it is my number 2. So Add It Up is my number 2.
Another unanimous, potentially sunk. We'll see.
It is. It's sunk.
And
Well, it's definitely sunk, but I wonder if it was on its way to unanimous. That's what we'll wait to see.
I don't know what this song is about. There's little bits of sex obsessed stuff. I hate the word horny. I've always hated that word. But you guys, I get it. It's
I know what you
totally
mean.
there. This song says the word fuck, and when you're in 10th grade, it's like ooh, and the Backstep Forward or whatever the name of the band that Dan was in played this little fundraiser at our school because we were so poor in our upper middle class neighborhood to raise money to lower the price of prom tickets for us. They did it every year, but the year before Dan played Blister in the Sun, some other band did this song in front of the whole school. Oh man, you don't say fuck in front of the whole school. I remember being side stage for some reason and them running off and going, oh god, like it was like this song was like before we heard NWA, it was like, oh my gosh, there's this song and it has the effort. Like it was such a big deal. It's so funny. And funny enough, 91X used to play it. And if you remember, they took the word fuck and reversed it.
Totally.
So you would hear, why can't I get just one cuff? And that night, when I met the band, I told Gordon that, and he couldn't believe it. He'd never heard of that. No one had ever told him that, that he's like, I didn't even think about that anyone ever played on the radio. So that's so interesting. Like he seemed, this was 1991 and it's almost like he played 1,000 people a night, but that was kind of like probably the most popular that they ever were at that point. But he didn't seem to grasp it, and I remember me being like, "But this was such a big album for us, and it was such a big thing in our town, But it became so central to our culture and our generation, and there was a scene in Reality Bites where Ethan Hawke gets up and sings it in his cover band, like a little bit. And it was just like, yeah, like they sing Schoolhouse Rock songs and they sing Add It Up in that movie. And it's just like, yeah. And then people were starting to talk about Generation X and our obsession with nostalgia. And that was it. It was like so central to what we did. There's also, there's a great song by this rap group called Marginal Prophets that was Keith Knight, the cartoonist who did K Chronicles, had a rap group, and they have the best samples of any band you ever heard. But there was a song about gun control, and it was like, if you get the money, then you can get the gun. And they looped it over and over.
Oh,
Just had that one line.
I do remember
It was
that.
So great. But this song is so epic for a rootsy Midwestern rock song, and
Yeah.
I think the structure of it, when I was thinking about it, it's deceiving because it's one of the longer songs on the album. Definitely the longest fast song on the album. It's like 4.5 minutes or something like that. But it seems like it goes by in nothing. But you're talking about like this sparseness. He makes you wait for it. 37 seconds of a cappella, just him singing. 37 seconds is a long fucking time to sit there and go, no, you're going to just wait for me to get to it. But it's like, there's a verse, there's a break, there's a verse, there's a chorus, there's a breakdown, a solo, another breakdown that goes on forever, and then this ending that just goes on and builds and builds and builds. And it's not with big guitars, it's with brushes, it's with an acoustic bass, maybe electric bass on that one, but it's just like, it's so rocking and so good. It works as the closer because they almost closed with it every time I saw them, but I saw that the last show that they played, because they're still playing shows, they opened with it, and I thought, what a great opener to walk out and do that, because I saw them. I remember when I saw them in '91 at their peak, they walked out to this grand classical piece, like da, 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 like, and then they walked out and went da, 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 and played one of their like new Why Do Birds Sing, like the goofy, and I'm like, so anticlimactic and great. But they've got this song up their sleeve, and it's so great. And I never thought I would have it this high. I thought I liked too many other songs, but it was definitely the one that rose more than I thought it would on this. My number 2.
At number 2, I've got Kiss Off. The opening guitar for me almost feels like spaghetti western music. Like it almost feels like a western, just like that kind of plucky. It's just like the showdown type of thing. Mm-hmm. And then he comes in like, I need someone. It's like so earnest, someone's person to talk to, but it's deadpan. It's not like, could it be you? And it's just like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of feeling in it, a lot of emotion. And then bam, just like that, and then it comes in and it just slides the song into Spite. And, you can always kiss off into the air, like behind my back, like whatever, dudes. And then, but it contains like the beauty of this song for me is it contains the all-time emptiest threat. I hope you know that this will go down on your permanent record. And that's like everybody singing that every time. Like that song is like, I hope you know that this will go down.
It was amazing.
Is it a cop? Is it a teacher? Who cares?
Oh yeah,
like fuck authority, man. It's just so great, right?
I'd like to think it inspired David Lee Roth 2 years later to go, I've dropped my pencil. It's that same like,
right. But it's and then it's got the bass solo, and then it takes it down so they can count it up to the crescendo, building back up again after another chorus. Time. It's so fucking good. Like how does that even happen? And then the outro, the end of the song, I'm like the bow, and it just fades out, and you're like, these are 3 kids from Milwaukee. Like, what the fuck? How does this happen? That this gem of an album, like, the band's done other work, really good work. But if this record was all they did, and for some people it is, like for some people they don't know anything but this, it would still be the absolute pinnacle, the genius, and still have a place in the rock music canon. Like one of the best debuts of all time, front to back. Like it's astounding. Like it's one of those records that's just, because like the Police, like Andy Summers was in his mid-30s when they came out with their record, with their debut, right? So like he'd been around for a while. Sting and Stewart had been around for a while, other bands and stuff like this. This was like, again, that early, they're just kids, and the production is perfect, the playing is perfect, the lyric, like, come on.
They were the Olivia Rodrigos of their time.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for bringing it home. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Victor might have been the Andy Summers because he was 28 to Gordon's 19, but still.
Oh, wow. That's kind of crazy to be in a band together with that age difference.
Yeah, Brian was only a couple of years older than 3 years older, maybe. I looked it up because I've always been so fascinated that Gordon was so young, but I was kind of surprised to see that Victor.
Yeah, that's really interesting. All right. I was a little surprised how high this went, but my number 2 is Prove My Love.
Yeah.
Nice.
I agree with what you said earlier, Adam. I think Kiss Off, Prove My Love, and Add It Up are related. Like they're in the same family tree for sure. And you hear it right away with that bass that comes in. Don't. I mean, I keep thinking they're going to go into the countdown from Kiss Off, but just that bass starting it off, I'm like, here we go. That bass you could have a minute just on that bass, and I'd be like, keep playing, play it, maestro. It's just so great. And so why did this end up number 2 versus like, Kiss Off and Gone Daddy Gone and stuff like that? this song, to your point earlier, Sam, about like at some point they move from anger into lust and yearning, and that's this song. This song is, yes, there's some darker lyrics, like just how bad it got and how sick I'd become, but overall he's got hope. He's thinking, if we're a thing, I think this thing's begun. What do I have to do? Like he's hoping for it. And as angry as the backup is on Kiss Off, here they're totally like, it's the happy. This feels like it's out of the 50s almost. Do it all the time. Yeah. And it just goes front to back. It's bottled up joy. And when I'm singing along on this song, it's just, sometimes it's fun to be like angry and shake your fist. This one, it's so fun because it's just, I don't know. It just feels like you've popped the top off a bottle of joy, and it's just coming out like this amazing feeling. Also, for a band that plays so geeky and awkward so much, here they kind of have some swagger. Like it all kind of comes together. This does sort of feel like that 50s doo-wop, like they're pulling it off. And when the guitar comes in the middle, in some ways this is, the guitar's time to shine. It feels like a haywire Buddy Holly, da, 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 da. It's a little bit off, but it crackles with energy. And anyways, so this song is more than the sum of its parts in my mind. It's just, ultimately, it just makes me so happy every time I hear it that I was like, can't totally explain it with my bullet points, but I'm putting it higher than a lot of the field here.
Yeah. I think you touched on something really good, Dan, is that like the sequencing on this album, and we talk about it from time to time, but like the sequencing is really good. I mean, the first 4 songs are just like, Please Do Not Go steps it down a little bit, but it's so good. But that like, it's just come out the gate just like so hard, and then Confessions, and then you flip it over,
you're back,
and you got Prove My Love, and you're back in it, and it's such joy, such great energy, and then ending on good feeling. Like this is a good ride. This album's a really good ride.
I agree. It is a great ride. My number one is Added Up. I cannot believe the bold a cappella opening. I remember where I was when I heard Kiss, Screw, and then Fuck. I had heard my friends
totally.
I had heard my friends sing it before, but when I finally heard it on cassette, oh my God! And then this is why I don't get. This is not the pop song of Prove My Love or Kiss Off. This is the epic Stairway to Heaven of Violent Femmes. Oh mama, 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 and you just go into this trance. And Boy Is Done, number one, went downtown, got Don't Shoot, top of the stairs, affairs, share a smoke, make a joke. And the reason why this fits at number one is because the thing that this album does, what Gordon's lyrics do, are make you have fun singing his words and make your mouth exercise. Words make your mouth exercise. And it's just so perfect, right? And then In Your Thighs and In Your Bedroom, Ounce for Ounce. And, we're all going to avoid the whole... the end, I want to fuck my mother theme to whatever those lyrics are, I would love to love you.
And by avoid, you mean bring it up right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you just did.
Literally, we've been avoiding the topic, and I need to say it here. No, I just love this song and the added up at the end. See what you got. You got to add a day. It's the most fun sing along, and it's also feels like the most serious song in the album at the same time. And that's the two parts of the Femmes that are just combined into everything I love. That make it just the freaking yin and yang. Number one has to be number one in the album. Number one Femmes song of all time.
I love what you just said. My number one, you guys have probably forgotten what I haven't said yet.
I totally have.
I'll put it at the very bottom.
I know.
My favorite, favorite is Good Feeling. And, it's so beautiful, and I love it. Maybe because it's different from the rest of it, but there's so many reasons why it's so beautiful. It starts right away. He starts singing right away. And the way the piano is recorded, it's so like Nick Drakey almost, just so clean and beautiful. And I'd never noticed the Velvets-ish or Lou Reedy-is of it. And listening to it again, I was just like so taken by it. But where we always say, we always have to take a step back and look at the song on its song. I have too many memories. There's two things that I have so wrapped up in this song to not put it in like such a special place. The first being that when I talked to Gordon that night, I mentioned that he didn't play fiddle on it, and he said, I've never played fiddle when we played that song. And I said, no, you played it when we saw you 3 years ago. And he said, did I? And he didn't remember. And he started telling me about being the son of a preacher and growing up doing spirituals and playing. And it was just like,
that's
like,
amazing. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
But he said the thing that I'll never, more than whistling for Brian, was he said, can I sit down? It's his hotel room. And I'm sitting on a bed and there's all these people, and he says, can I sit down? That's how nice he is. That's how nice of a Midwestern guy he is. I'll never forget him asking that for the rest of my life. It was so incredibly sweet. But also, so my whole life I've wanted to be in a band, and it took me forever to do it. I didn't start until I was maybe 30. And one of the things I wanted to do, and I always said I would do, is if I ever got to open up for somebody, I would cover some song that like related to them somehow. And the very first band, or the very first show that Rookie Card ever did, pretty much was opening up for a band from San Francisco called Destroyo. And Brian had just produced their record and was touring with them as their bass player. And we decided to cover Good Feeling. And we did it in this like kind of rocked out way, which shouldn't fit. And we kind of combined it with this song by Luna called Slide. And it came out so good. It was my first real band. It was my first real time arranging a cover with my real band. And it was for a crowd that would get the joke. And in my mind, it was so great. It was so perfect. And afterwards, Brian and the guitarist who had been in Four Non Blondes came up to me and were just gushing, like, how is this your first show? How is that even possible? And I think I had the guts to say something like, has anyone ever opened for you and played a Violent Femmes song? And he said, never. And it's the best cover I've ever heard of one of our songs. And I was just like, you know, it's all downhill from there. And maybe 10 years later, at least 10 years later, my guitarist surprises me. His wife filmed it and puts it up on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't even want to watch it. It's not going to be as good.
No, you got to keep the memory. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'll watch it though. You can send it to me.
No, but it was one of those rare things, because usually when I watch video of myself, oh God, I'm this, I'm that. And I don't really know how to stand yet on stage, but it sounds great. It sounds so great. And I have such a like warm place in my heart for these guys that I started a band with. But all that aside, it is still just such a beautiful, beautiful song. And it's got some of my favorite lines on the whole album. Because he's so sarcastic and funny and interesting and weird, but then he just spits out these beautiful things. He's laughing at the sunrise, like he's been out all night, and then he has to find a bed that can take this weight right before the fiddle, and then into a bass solo. And it's great as Please Do Not Go's bass solo is. The bass break in Good Feeling is so simple and great, and then it goes back into like this very sing-along, lull you off chorus. And like you said, Dan, we've talked about what's a good closer, what's not. Sometimes epic and loud is great, sometimes really quiet is great, sometimes it doesn't work, but this one is just such a great, the content of what he's talking about it being the end of a night and this good feeling, and we wish that this good feeling of this album could go a little long, and it's such a perfect closer. That's why it's my number one.
Nicely put. And that is such an Adam number one, too. I see it now.
Can we just end the podcast right now? Like that's it. Like I want to end on that. I want to end on that
switch
song.
it around.
I almost made an executive decision, because the next two guys are going to talk about the same song, And then I was going to say, let's end on that.
Oh, yeah, because you love going around the horn, as you say.
I should have done it. Go ahead, Sam.
So, my number one is Added Up. Not surprising.
What?
Thank you. Best song deserves to be there.
Yep, I get it.
And I will play, but the day after today, I will stop, and I will start.
What?
We're laughing because the whole point of Jim wanting us to go where you all talk about the same song
It's
in a
the nice
row,
big crescendo,
and
yeah.
I broke it up.
Read the comments.
Read
the comments.
It's like watching a movie with commercials. Adam was like
Right,
the commercial during the chase scene. Now we're back.
I mean, I am laughing at you, but not this time. Come on, let's do this.
My number one is Added Up. It's so lusty. Like, this is that teenage sex song. But when this song starts, day after, like, you don't really know what's happening. It's just his voice, and it's so high you can't tell if it's a woman or a man. Like, if you're a kid, like, hearing this song for the first time, like 15 years old or whatever, you're like, especially back in the 80s, it's like, ooh, like, what's going on? And then, I will start, and I will start, and then it's just like, bam, and then it just comes out, it's pure energy, the kids are bashing it out. Why can't I get just one kiss? Like, what a hook that is. And you're wondering, like, yeah, why can't I? What, like, why can't I? And then did he just say he looks at my pants? But now he wants to screw? But something won't let me make love to you. And it's not making love that he wants, right? Something won't let me make love. He doesn't want to make love to you. He wants to screw you. He wants to fuck you, right? And now he wants to fuck. And the first time you heard this song, this randy-ass fucking song, as a randy-ass fucking teenager, you felt that shit. You felt it. Because you were just like, yeah, that, I want that. And the break between the screw and the fuck verses to amp up that excitement is so good, you know?
Oh my God, totally.
Exactly. Jim's got it. And then don't shoot. It's the don't shoot part is like giving kids at the dance club or the house party a reason to like point finger guns at the objects of their affection, right? It's like, don't shoot that thing, and you know, or maybe that's just me, I don't know, but then it comes down, you know, words to number, like, and like it's not rap. He's not rapping, but it's just like the flow. It's just absolute poetry. Words to memorize, words hypnotize, words make my mouth exercise, words all fail the magic prize. Nothing when I can say when I'm in your thighs. And you're just like, oh, fuck. It's absolute lusty poetry. It might as well be Whitman's limitless, limpid jets of love, right? It's just that feeling of just like sex in words. And it's poetry. And then there's one more bass solo guitar freak out to the hard, yes, I said hard, ending. And how many climaxes are there in this one song? And
yes, I said
the
climax.
song is all about that. Just climax after climax after climax. Yes, I said climax. Yeah, I mean, there's not enough, and there's not enough for the guy singing it. That's for sure. He wants more, and then by the end, you're just like fucking done. You're just done. It just takes it all out of you, which is probably a good, you know, transition into Confessions. But man, what a frickin' song! And it's the fourth song on the album. You've already gone through it, and you get here, and it just jacks it right back up. Yes, I said jacks it. What a fucking amazing song. And I respect your choice, Adam, but wow.
But kiss off.
And it could have been
Add it up, Adam.
It could have been the closer. You know, like, it closes their shows.
Yeah, that's right.
It would have made a great closer, but I love Good Feeling as a closer too. Like, they both would be.
Yeah,
it's kind of the two sides of it. My number one is Added Up.
By what band?
Tell us why.
By Violent Femmes.
Oh, it's not the Violent Femmes, is it? I think they're one of those bands.
No,
Sorry,
no. Look, some artists have a song associated with them because it's their one big hit, and so they're like the one hit wonder and associated. There's the artists that have such a deep catalog it's hard to just pick one. I do think there's a third category of artists where they've got a deep set of amazing songs, aka Violent Femmes, but one sums them up better than anything. It's everything that's great about them in one song. And in my opinion, that's Violent Femmes with Added Up. Like, it is horny with that Venn diagram of angry or anxious or whatever it is. Like, it's not right. There's like R&B horny where it's like, girl, it's like smooth and like,
right.
That is not this, right? Like, when he sings, I look at your pants and I need a kiss, it's as awkward as can be, and yet so honest. It's like, you're not supposed to say that out loud, Gordon. You're not supposed to say that.
Right.
That's what's amazing. You guys have ticked off, I get to go last. So you guys have ticked off all the great things. Nothing I can say when I'm in your thighs. So I'm going to talk about one thing that none of you guys talked about, which is the beginning of this song. I'm just kidding. You guys all talked about the beginning, but I'm going to talk about it again because it's that fucking good. So think of Game of Thrones, or for those of you who haven't watched Game of Thrones, Braveheart, whatever your favorite medieval type movie is. There's always the scene, the armies are gathered on either side of the battlefield, and they're just standing there. And there's this deathly quiet over the battlefield. And everybody's waiting to see who's going to make the first move. That is basically Gordon going, day after day. And you're in his army, and everybody is raising their fists slowly. He's taking his time. One of the reasons it takes so long is every word he sings has like 20 vowels in it. It's so dragged out. He is taking his time. To your point, Sam, it's totally like, where is this going? He just takes his time. He's getting his army ready. And then I will start. And the sword comes down and the fucking guitar comes in. And those armies are running. Horses are galloping across that field. And the thing, all hell breaks loose. Like, that's what I think when I hear this. And it's like, battle is on.
Yes.
It's absolutely glorious.
Dude, and we have 3 dragons on our side. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We got an army. Anyway.
Exactly. Anyways, just absolutely epic song that sums up this band. And yeah, it's no as I was weighing other songs, like, ultimately just came up to, I could not imagine denying like the absolutely emblematic sort of everything that adds up, to what like this song is just like the ultimate summation of like essence of Violent Femmes. Perfect.
Way to pull it together.
Well done.
Amazing.
That was a fun one. I forgot to mention the fact that the main reason that I picked this album was an offhanded remark that Jim said months and months ago, is that this album would be impossible to rank, implying that
Love it.
They're all so good. It would be so hard to rank one above the other. And I gotta admit, like, I took a little time last night and this morning moving stuff around. I'm like, yep, he's right. I'm like, this could be here. This could be, and I did more moving than usual on this for sure.
There's certain ones where I suddenly get gripped with panic. I'm like, I got to do another check. I don't think I have it right. I did that too with this one.
Well, as a group, we had Added Up at number 1, Kiss Off at number 2, Prove My Love, Please Do Not Go, Good Feeling, Blister in the Sun, Gone Daddy Gone, Confessions, Promise, and To the Kill. I will say that as far as 1, 2, 3, not in that order, but Dan, you had the top 3 in the top 3. And yeah, that's all the stats I think are.
Overall, this felt like one of the more consistent. Like, there were a couple surprises, but like, there weren't nearly as many anvils dropped.
Yeah, I mean, Adam lifts the Good Feeling ranking up, obviously putting it in number 1.
Right.
And who drops Yeah. Anyway, Confessions. We all had it.
That's on me.
We all had it. Yeah.
Well, no, Sam.
I had it at number 4.
Yeah. Adam,
I had it number 10. But I think Blister. Where did Blister come in at the end?
So a 5, an 8, a 4, and a 7.
Yeah. That dropped a lot lower than I thought it would
feels
be.
Right.
Interesting. Well, thanks for all the numerology. Speaking of which, that was episode 19, and we are off to number 20, which means we are doing a request episode. Thanks to you guys for getting back to me so quickly, because I kind of realized, oh shoot, we're going to record that, so we need to listen or look at the 50 albums that you, our listeners, have recommended to us and whittle that down. So we each did a top 5, and from that we gave you guys nominees to vote on, just so the ones that we're talking about would be ones that we thought we would do good, if nothing else.
Well,
so
we thought we'd do well.
Good or well?
We
well
do
good.
rankings
Yeah,
good.
Done real good.
He likes dumb guy singing. Remember in the chorus?
I do.
That's the voice I made.
So we put it out there and just let people vote for just a couple days, and we got a bunch of people. It looks like maybe more people voted this time, which means more people listen to us now. So good on that. I got to figure out a better way to have people vote. I want to make it easier for our Instagram and our Facebook people, but some people do one or the other.
Google Forms. We'll talk Google Forms next time.
You think? So, and I was trying to keep people honest. I only caught one person voting on 2 platforms, and that would be Dan Buchacher, who tried to double up.
No, I'm a Svengali of the social media. That's all that is.
Svengali and platforms.
Negative points.
You literally wrote "stuff the ballot box" on the thing.
I mean,
yes, you did.
You can't vote from different states. I just said you can vote for as many albums as you want, but you were like going for an Instagram and Facebook. One of his profiles, he had a mustache, and he tried to fool me, and I was like, no, not gonna happen.
And a different voice.
All right. Right. Okay. So here's how it came out. There were 5 albums. The least amount of points came from the album nominated by Jim's lovely wife Sonia, which was Michael Penn's March. That got 5 votes. In 4th place was the album nominated by my lovely girlfriend Charlotte, and that was Dan's the album that Dan wanted the most, and that was Joe Jackson's Look Sharp.
Great taste, Charlotte.
9 points. In 3rd place with 12 points was the album that Sam wanted the most, nominated by Joan and Carlos. That is U2's Joshua Tree. And so the top 2, was way closer. Last time was a blowout when Blur won. This one, it was only 4 points difference between the top 2. So the number 2, sadly, was the one that I wanted to do the most, recommended by a guy named Jacob, who tried to bribe us into doing it by doing a Photoshop job and putting our name into this album cover. And it almost won, Jacob. I wish it had got to number 1, but it's our number 2, and that's the Kinks, or the Village Green Preservation Society. So that means that our next episode was the album that Jim wanted to do the most, even though he's never heard it. He just thought it would be good.
What? Well, that makes me want to do it even more.
Right? So it was recommended by a listener of ours named William. And between the 4 of us collectively, it's the album that we voted that we wanted to do the most. Not just this time, but also last election. Blur won.
I think 3 out of the 4 of us voted for this, right? Like initially,
right. Yeah, and it's the only album that was up for nominees last time and this time, but this time it won, and that is Big Star's number 1 record. So
Jim just thought, based on the title, he thought this had to be the number 1 record.
Yeah, right.
So wait a minute, Jim. Have you heard songs on this? You've heard songs from this record. You just
I don't know, because I don't know what's on this record, but I do know that there's some Big Star songs that I like. There's one. Yeah. There's one or two that
you'll find them on.
Oh, that's fun.
And I hope they're on this album.
I did not realize that. Yep.
It's going to be a fun one.
It's a great fucking record.
If the Posies like Big Star, then I like Big Star. Let's put it that way.
Fair enough.
If the Replacements are singing about Big Star,
we'll get to that on the next. The list of influences goes on.
We'll eventually get to it.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Children by the millions.
Please follow We Will Rank You at We Will Rank You Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and let us know how you would rank this week's tunes. Sam writes about music on the web at yourolderbrother.com. You can find Adam's music page at You're Doing Great, that's YERDOIN. Please subscribe, rank, and review our show at your favorite pod place, and send us a note with suggestions and flattery to wewillrankyoupod@gmail.com.